Good morning. Welcome again to Kahului Hongwanji's online YouTube weekly service, weekly Sunday service. And as we continue with this pandemic situation, and sometimes they say it's getting better, sometimes it's getting worse, so we just have to hold on and do the best we can. Today is June 28th, Sunday, and in today's service we will also, besides just being a regular Sunday service, we're also going to have our family gratitude remembrance. So family gratitude is a time at Kahului Hongwanji where we acknowledge the memorial services of everybody, anyone in the temple who has a memorial service, one of the traditional numbers of the memorial service during this month. So this is the month of June. Or it could be anyone that you'd like to remember as well, anyone that you want to add to the list. So since this is a public video, we cannot read the names of the people being remembered as we would do if it was here in the church. But I will recite the dedication. I will make Oshoko, incense offering, and I will recite the dedication for the remembrance, and then we will have a moment of silence during which you may express your appreciation in your heart for your beloved departed family members or your friends or whoever that you are remembering. This is the order that we will follow for the service today. We start as usual with a Vandana and Tisarana, and then we will have the family gratitude dedication. And following that, we will chant Gasho to Amida. The chanting today will be Gasho to Amida. And during the chanting, normally when we have the family gratitude remembrance, just like during any memorial service, the family members come up during the sutra chanting to make Oshoko, make incense offering here. But since you're not here, I would just invite you that if you do have a Buddhist altar in your home, or even just an incense burner, I would invite you to just take the opportunity at home to set that up. You can pause the video right now and set up your butsudan, light a candle, light the incense, if you have charcoal or if you use the stick incense, senko. But just go ahead and get ready, and then when we are chanting the sutra, you may offer incense at that time in remembrance of your family members. Or, you may just join in and offer incense anyway, just as an offering, a reflection of appreciation for the Buddha's great teaching that we receive, and for a realization of the great blessings of life that we're always receiving. Following the sutra chanting, we will recite the Golden Chain of Love, and then I will have a Dharma message to share with you today. And then we will have our loving kindness meditation, the Metta, and following that, the closing Nembutsu, singing of the Nembutsu, and then I will have some closing words. Okay, so thank you very much, and now let's begin our service by reciting the Nembutsu. Let's put our hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Saranang gacchami, Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Today, Kahului Hongwanji Sangha is gathering together to remember our loved ones who have passed away, particularly those whose memorials are observed in this month. In appreciation of them, let us reflect deeply on the transience, the uncertainty, and the impermanence of our existence, so that we may all awaken to realize the true significance of living. May we live our lives as an expression of appreciation for the limitless kindness we constantly receive every moment, and seek to repay our debt of gratitude to all of our departed loved ones, and to acknowledge the great benevolence they have bestowed upon us. In deep awareness of the many blessings we constantly receive from others, let us repeat the name which is true reality itself, measureless light, boundless life. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 As we remember our departed loved ones through this family gratitude remembrance and awaken to the truth of impermanence, may we realize our oneness with all beings and dedicate ourselves to work for the well-being and happiness of everyone, everywhere. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I gasho to Amida, trees and grasses and flowers all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I gasho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I gasho to Amida. songs all praise Amida. I joined them in Nembutsu. I gasho to Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I gasho to Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I gasho to Amida. Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida, every moment filled with light. I gasho to Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I gasho to Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I gasho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I gasho to Amida. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Good morning, once again. At this time, I would like to share a Dharma message with you, a few thoughts, reflections on the Buddhist teaching. So let's begin by reciting the Nembutsu together. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So, in these very difficult times we're living through, and I hope you're all coping with it and finding good things, good ways to deal with the frustrations and the difficulties that we all face. But we all want to do our best, I think, to heal the sufferings of the world. Both the sufferings caused by this pandemic, this illness that threatens our well-being and our lives, and also the sufferings caused by the discrimination and violence that is being expressed by so many people due to our delusions and blind passions. And we should make a great effort, to bring peace and harmony into the world. But the process of bringing peace must arise from our own peaceful mind. We foolish beings, we are full of conflict and selfishness, and we cannot just make peace out of our good intentions. We cannot weave the fabric of harmony with threads of selfishness drawn from the depths of our calculating and hidden agendas. Many years ago, the Dalai Lama gave a public talk in Tokyo, I think it was, and at the end of his talk, one of the attendees said to him, "Holiness, please pray for world peace." The Dalai Lama replied, "Well, you know, I do not have such miraculous power. Rather, I think it is more important that each of us should realize our own peace within." Now, what the Dalai Lama was saying here is not that working for peace in the world or wishing for peace in the world or striving for peace in the world, that's not important. Of course it is. He wasn't saying that. What he is saying is that while peace in the world or in our country, our community, our family is something that's very important, we must first look hard and see the war and the violence, the disharmony, the lack of peace that rage within ourselves. If we are trying to bring goodness into the world, we shouldn't be looking at others thinking we can improve them in order to have peace. Rather, we need to be seeing myself, as the source of the sufferings that others endure. Even those who are perpetuating violence, even their suffering that causes them to perpetuate violence, I must see myself in some sense as a cause of that. We must always see ourselves as part of the cause of evil in the world. The peace I seek for the world must first take root in myself. I am the soil in which the sapling of peace must germinate. So I would like to share with you a couple of short passages written by Reverend Kenru Tsuji that are printed in this book called The Heart of the Buddhadharma. And so Reverend Tsuji was born in Canada in 1919, and he studied Buddhism at Ryokoku University in Japan and was ordained a minister. After his ordination, he returned to Canada just before World War II began. And he began his long 57-year career as a minister, during which he served in Canada and the Buddhist churches of America. He was elected as the first Western-born bishop of the BCA in 1968, and he also founded a Koji Buddhist temple in Northern Virginia in 1981. He also served as president of the World Conference on Religion and Peace from 1983 through 1989. This book was collected from many of his writings over his life. It was published in 2003. Actually, this book was given to me by my own wonderful friend and teacher, Dr. Al Bloom, and who knew Reverend Tsuji. And so it's a book that I have enjoyed and reflected on for many years. I would like to share mainly two short writings from this book. The first is a short little sermon or reflection entitled Namo Amida Butsu, Recitation of the Nembutsu. So I'm going to read this, and I'd like to, and so please listen while I read this short passage. Nembutsu literally means I meditate on Buddha, and Namo Amida Butsu means I take refuge in Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite life and light. The Nembutsu is the heart of the Buddhist religion, Buddhist religious experience. The recitation of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, is a meditation, enlightens us to our humanity, and leads us to the full realization of the ultimate power of wisdom and compassion, which we Buddhists call Buddhahood. Psychologically, the recitation of the Nembutsu is a conscious acceptance of Amida's wisdom and compassion at work. Religiously, the recitation of the Nembutsu is an act of gratitude, naturally arising from an awakening to the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. A man who lives in the supreme knowledge and profound conviction that he is now encompassed in Amida's eternal light which never casts him away is known as a man who lives the life of Nembutsu. The Nembutsu is the complete identification of myself with the transcendent power of wisdom and compassion from which I derive my meaning for existence. The Nembutsu is this center of my being, the spiritual home from which I operate and where I find the spiritual power from which to carry out all my moral, social, and religious commitments. It is the verbalization of my inner awakening to the reality of life and the world. It is the sound of the infinite touching the finite. Only in the absolute passivity of the Nembutsu do I find the unfathomable source of my life's true activity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So this passage, this little short sermon really tells us a great deal. First of all, he's telling us very importantly that reciting the Nembutsu psychologically is a conscious acceptance of boundless wisdom, boundless compassion working in our lives. But religiously, it is an act of gratitude which arises naturally from our awakening to the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. It is very important, I think, to realize that, as I was mentioning before, that we want to do good in the world, but if we have within us so much of this poison, this anger, this rage, this judgment, dissatisfaction with others, and so on, this certainty that we always know the answers. Intellectually, we always think we know better than others. And today we have so much conflict in the world because really people have gone far beyond what we used to have kind of disagreement. Now everyone is sort of locked in their opinions and never wants to give way or admit they're wrong or admit there's any possibility of change. But of course, Buddhism teaches us life is change. Every moment is change. We cannot hold on to anything, and everything is always passing by. Every moment our thoughts, our ideas are being changed and adapted and to new conditions and so on. But when we lock ourselves down and don't want to think, don't want to accept the possibility of being wrong, we're attached to our rightness. The worst thing to be attached to is your own rightness or goodness. We really, really cause suffering for ourselves and others. We can't grow. And a person who can't grow is really a problem for himself or herself, and also an even bigger problem for everyone around. So not being able to grow is very, very terrible suffering. And to live the life of Nembutsu is really the life of growing, of always being open, of always being guided by wisdom and compassion, which is beyond us, transcends us. So that's very important. And finding that peace in our mind, finding our own peace, that inner peace that allows us to make peace in the world, is the peace of Amida's mind, which we have to awaken to. It's not the peace I'm going to create in myself, because I'm always going to have an agenda. I always have that, survival instinct, whatever it is, all the kinds of things we have, psychological issues, problems, whatever it is, we always have something up our sleeves. Only Namo Amida Butsu. What Namo Amida Butsu is, people in other religions, I think, encounter it in other ways. It doesn't have to be called that, in my opinion. But whatever it is, this mysterious, transcendent reality of the totality of life really transforms us moment by moment, day by day. And most important is to realize that we have been transformed, that we are being transformed, that we are being carried along by this boundless compassion that makes it possible for us not only to accept ourselves as we are, to see who we are, see what's there, the darkness and everything, to accept ourselves as we are, the inevitable reality of being who you are, and then to grow from there naturally through the Buddha's infinite compassionate working. So that thought, I think, that idea, I think, is very, very important, and something that there's no end to our reflecting on it. So we have to continue to think about this all the time. The life of Nembutsu is not reciting some words, some sounds with our lips. It is our whole self gradually kind of reciting with our whole self, making that thing real through responding to that calling voice of the Buddha saying, just let go and be embraced, be carried by boundless compassion. So the next reading I'd like to read for you, and I don't want to make any comment about this, it's a poem. It's called Eternal Now, and I'm going to close my Dharma message with that. So please listen carefully to these words. They're very beautiful. The poem is called Eternal Now. In the beginningless, endless flow of time, each life is a mere ripple, existing only for an instantaneous moment and disappearing forever. But each life is a unique experience with beauty and truth, all of its own, with no identical counterpart in history, and none absolutely the same in the future. Your life, my life, is attuned to the rhythm of the cosmos and to the heartbeat of reality. Each life exists in the eternal now. Each idea that is thought, each word that is spoken, each action that is taken changes the whole pattern of the universe, for the universe is interdependent. Think, speak, and act, then, always, in the eternal now. With compassion and understanding for your own enlightenment and for the enlightenment of all sentient beings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So, I said I wouldn't comment on it, but I just wanted to say that, if we reflect on those words, we are able to grasp, I think, the important truth of Buddhism, that I myself, everyone has to say me, myself, must be the one to awaken, to return to my true nature, my true self. If I want to be part of the healing of this sick and suffering world, I must first become myself awakened within that eternal now. The heartbeat of reality, as Reverend Suji calls it. So I hope you enjoyed listening to those readings, and I hope you will reflect on them. And so thank you also for listening to this message and participating in this service today. So please join me now in Gasho as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Please join me now for the recitation or chanting of the Metta, loving kindness meditation. So as we chant these words, wishing that all beings will be happy and well, that no harm or difficulties will come to them, and that they live in peace and harmony. We are expressing Amita's wish, and actually Amita's working to bring true happiness to all beings. So our own, as we've been talking about today, our own wish is always flawed. It's limited by our selfishness and so on, our ego and selfishness. But when we express these words, we are really expressing what the Buddha is already accomplishing for us. We just have to allow ourselves to be embraced and to awaken to that reality. So let's recite now the loving kindness meditation. Please join me in Gassho. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Thank you so much for joining with us today for our Kahului Hongwanji Sunday online service, and also being part of our Family Gratitude Remembrance. Please, following the video, there'll be some titles at the end. Please take a look at those. Those are announcements, and you will see information about upcoming activities, and also about especially our Obon activities, online activities, and our Hatsubon services that will be offered online. Also, you can read about that information down in the, they call it the bucket, the little part where there's notes about the video. Okay, so please take a look at that anyway. So for now, do stay well and do the best you can, and always remember to be present in the moment, whatever's going on. That's our Buddhist way, that's our Buddhist path. And do visit us again next week. Okay, so in closing, let's put our hands together and recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo